Welcome to the Business Over Beer Happy Hour, a daily dose of support for business owners, entrepreneurs, and people passionate about what they do. Hosted by Ben Surratt, Jonathan Kaler, and Jason Knope, it's time to grab a beer, enjoy some cheer, and join together.
We are live, everybody. Welcome to the first live Facebook Bob Happy Hour. I am your co-bartender, Ben Surratt. Right below me right now is Mr. Respect the Hair himself, Jonathan, the man of the hour, the terror of power. How are you doing, my friend?
I can't hear you, Kaler.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey.
Tell you what, I am Mr. Audio Difficulty this week. Started Friday, it hasn't stopped. But hey, I'm feeling great. So happy to be catapulted into the 21st century. Look at us using technology. A bunch of grandpas like us. We're making it happen. It's kind of funny. You said I was right below you, but you're right there. And on my screen, Knope is right there.
You're up there.
The Brady Bunch.
I can't even make any sort of joke about you, Knope, because everybody can see you now. Jason Knope, man,
Everybody
I
can
am
see
down with the KNOPP. Welcome to Happy Hour, my friend. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. I hope everybody cannot see me in here, but at least they can see my hair. It's almost as long as yours, and I'm doing great tonight. Looking forward to
it's March, not Movember. I don't know if you realize that. You know, man, you are hashtag respect the hair, respect the head. You're not respecting it, man. I want to see some crisp, clean shave here pretty soon.
These times are changing, man. I'm letting it go.
It is, man. It's like a time we've never known. So
I know.
Here we go.
Oh, man. Well, hey, Ben, who do we got here? You know this guy, right?
I do know this guy. He is a fellow Kiel alumni. Where are you living now, Corey?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. So I'm I live in the Oak Creek area, which is a southern suburb of Milwaukee. So,
and that's Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
for the record,
correct.
Not the Milwaukee, Oregon.
Yeah. So Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yep. Lived out here, married with my wife Kim, and our two boys, Dominic and Everett, who are about 6.5 and 5, just turned 5. So loving the area.
And for everybody, you pronounce your last name Staggy, right?
Correct. Almost just like it's spelled, or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Great when the telemarketers call. Mr. Stoeckigt.
Mr. Citizen.
I love that Midwestern humor, man. I tell you.
Well, first, brother, hey Corey, how are you doing? How is the family doing with everything? Are you guys healthy? What's the atmosphere? What's happening in your area? How is everybody dealing with this?
It's it's different. Obviously, it's a crazy world we're living in right now. But we're just trying to be grateful. We're happy and healthy here. Our family's happy and healthy so far, and so we're it's an adjustment being kind of working mostly from home and the kids being home, homeschooling, getting in that routine and kind of being cooped up in the house. But we're just trying to be grateful and keep perspective. It's a time to slow down a little bit, I think, and try to use that time to spend a little more family time and try to do some of the things maybe you're too busy to do, or you don't have time to do those type of things. So trying to play some more games and be lighthearted and fun. And we did haircuts the other week, and we're shaving my son's hair down the middle and leaving the side, stuff like that, just to kind of be goofy. And I actually cut my ear, so it looked like an episode of Dexter in the bathroom after. Bleeding everywhere, but no, we're just trying to have fun and keep busy and keep lighthearted about it.
And keep happy, right? You got to keep happy.
Exactly, man. I mean, you read the news and you want to stay informed, but it's easy to get sucked in and go down a rabbit hole, and think it's the apocalypse. And so, just try to keep perspective and just be smart about it, but also keep positive. So.
Yep. Well, Corey, this is happy hour, and so during happy hour, we bring something that makes us happy.
Ben,
What have you brought?
Are you thirsty?
I am very thirsty, Jonathan.
All right. Well, I have some River West Stein from Lakefront Brewery. So it's an amber lager, very good. And
look!
There we go. So,
Look at that!
Got the lakefront glass as an homage to my friends in Wisconsin. Look at that.
Oh, there we go. So
that is a beautiful looking beer.
I, on the other hand, Prost, I went to Fortside, and I got...
Look at you with the Fortside glass and the Fortside hat and the Fortside beer.
Got me some orange whip, and just in case, I got the Pilsner too.
Nice.
So they're going to start doing a drive-through or a drive-up starting Thursday at Fortside, and they're still trying to figure that out. So I can't wait to be able to do that, you guys.
Well, I hope it's real because they're launching it on April 1st. And if I go over there and drive up my car and they tell me, psych, I'm not gonna be very happy. Won't be very happy. Well, hey, I am drinking out of the Lakefront glass. I have been to Lakefront Brewery. I love Wisconsin. I love Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But I am drinking Travel Plans IPA from Crux Fermentation Project. I picked that up at Ben's Bottle Shop on draft yesterday, and it is sliding.
Love Crux.
What are you drinking, Canope?
I'm drinking out of a Crux glass.
Look at that, man. We're all connected.
A Space Cowgirl Hazy IPA collab from Hop Capital Brewing, Double Barrel Tap House, and Brothers Cascadia.
Nice.
It is delicious.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, Corey, why don't you tell everybody kind of what your day job is, and then we'll get into your passion and your entrepreneur part. How's that sound?
That sounds great. So currently I work for a company called Medtronic, and it's a global company. Might have seen them in the news. Actually, they are trying to partnering with helping production of ventilators with everything going on. But they make all sorts of medical devices. And anyways, I work in the neuromodulation or pain division. So it's a pretty cool gig. I used to be a ICU nurse before this, and now I've been with Medtronic about, I think it's 7-8 years here. But basically, these patients get these implantable pain pumps and neurostimulators to people that are living with chronic pain that have maybe have had back surgery or their spine is kind of messed up and they're in excruciating pain on a daily basis. So the physicians put these implantable devices in. So we kind of are there for the surgery as a consultant, and then afterwards we do patient education and follow up in the clinics and everything. So it's a pretty cool gig. It's we get to help people every day is something different, and you're really making a difference in people's lives, which is cool and definitely a passion of mine. So that's kind of what I do for the day job.
So Corey, do you work directly with patients then on a day-to-day basis typically? Yeah,
so we so it's kind of a mix. That's one of the things. It was a little adjustment from going from nursing where you kind of you're on a shift type of work, where it's a very variable schedule. So I remember when I first started, Kim was like, "What time are you gonna be home today?" And it's kind of like, "Oh, I'll be home later." Some days I'm out the door at 5. Some days I'm home at 3. Some days I leave at 8 and home at 7 or 8. So it all kind of depends. There's a team of us that work together, and so some days it'll be a bunch of office visits where we're just in the office directly working with them. Yeah. So they're in there, and then they still call me, for follow-ups and things. So, if they're having trouble with their device over the phone, we'll try to troubleshoot and give them support that way and everything. So
how has that worked over the last couple of weeks then, shifting all of that then remotely and trying to handle all of that? I would assume you're having all of your patient interaction now over the phone.
Yeah, so it's been interesting. So, they kind of, the couple patients, so some of the appointments we had were ones where they had just recently had a surgery, like the week before. And so the doctor still had to see them to check their incisions and stuff. So it was more urgent. So then there we would see those. Otherwise, it's been a lot of kind of phone conversations, kind of troubleshooting, because there's some different programs we can put in that we can kind of, like an algorithm, we kind of work through and try some of that over the phone. The challenge now is if they are having, as we get further and further out, things change, or they may have issues with their device. How do we get them into the clinics? And there might be certain hospital restrictions and things like that. But we're working. We'll have to come up with some solutions. I don't know if Zoom or different things like that will be an option, but or some type of video thing to help patients out. But right. For the time being, we're just mostly using phone calls and trying to work with the physicians and their accounts as best we can to, still be safe, keep us safe, keep them safe as well. So,
sure.
Yeah. How about the overall community where you live in Oak Creek there? How are they doing? How is the community doing there?
I mean, I think overall it's it's kind of surprising, I guess, how many people are still out and about. Like when you drive, we try to limit even going to the stores or to appointments and stuff. But sometimes even when you have to go run and do something, I'm still surprised by how many cars are out and how many, people are out at the stores and everything. I mean, I know it's, you still gotta, and there's, the essential workers and, things that you have to do. You need food, you need, health supplies and things like that. But overall, I mean, I think people are, doing their best to deal with it. And I don't think the panic is set in. And, as far as watching the numbers and everything like that, it's not like cases like New York and everything. Me being in healthcare, some of the things I worry about is having the supplies at the hospital and, all the nurses that, I used to be a nurse on the front lines with direct patient care, and having the equipment and having the, the face masks and the gloves and the respirators and ventilators and all those type of things that they need to take care of patients and protect themselves. I have a couple of friends who work in the ERs, and that's kind of frightening to have to go to work every day when you're right in the front, and then come home and worry about, did I bring anything home with me to, to my family and stuff like that. So, but overall, I mean, I think people are still dealing. I haven't sensed a crazy panic or anything like that at this point.
Well, and how
about you guys? What is your sense out by you?
I mean, it's there's a sense of community like no other, in a good way. I think we have a lot. I mean, we're very passionate on the small business side, and of course, the people on the front lines, the nurses and all them. I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing what they're doing, and we love them to death. I mean, we love them. But the small business community that I know that we are all going through this together, and we're helping each other out as much as we can. Even if it's just like today going to Fortside and buying a beer. Our common theme is small things can make a big impact, and it's true. So that's what I've seen. What about you, Knope?
Yeah, more or less the same thing. We got a lot of people wondering, since you were a nurse previously, what is it? Is there really a massive shortage on personal protection things? I mean, what can we do as a small business community or as a community as a whole to help in this? Is there anything we can do?
I mean, I think, you know, part of it stems from kind of the panic, you know, starting and partly starting in China too. I think a lot of our distribution and some of the products came from there, and just, you know, the massive needs worldwide, you know, China, Italy, different places that have been affected. I think they've started to see the, you know, the shortage. Some of it I think is just, you know, people not panic buying some of the, you know, the supplies, or if they did, we've seen, you know, people or sometimes drives that people who maybe did panic and go buy boxes of face masks or stuff like that, that they actually are donating those to the hospital. There's different groups that are actually you know, it's not as good as a respirator or a mask, but there's still a lot of people that are starting to like sew cloth, like make their own like cloth masks. And so that's something too that, you know, people are donating those or, you know, making those. So that's something. But I think it's just, you know, keeping awareness, and if, you know, if you have any of those extra ones, and then a lot of it is just kind of, I guess from their standpoint too, is following the directions and staying home and not, you know, going out is probably just as important as that. But you know, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I know they're doing it. I've seen like some of the bigger companies too are switching over from, you know, what they're producing, almost like World War II, where you had like companies that would start making, you know, war products. In this case, seen some other companies that are taking some of their distribution and turning it into making face masks and things like that, which is cool to see, to help this out. So,
and what's that look like for your company? You were mentioning that like all elective surgeries or elective procedures have been, you know, sort of postponed. What's the impact then to your business, just kind of in general, and do you foresee any sort of long-term ramifications to that slowdown to your business?
no, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, I'm really proud of the company I work for. I mean, I think overall, and they've talked about that, but I think they're doing really, you know, doing well to withstand, you know, some of this. But I know there's other, you know, I feel for some of the other, you know, companies too, that are smaller companies, you know, that it's hard to withstand going a month or 2 months without, you know, selling any product. I know some people have been laid off and things like that. I'm on the clinical side, so, but there is like, you know, sales reps who sell our product too. So, we still haven't, it'll kind of remain to be seen how they handle that as far as, you know, what they're, because they'll only be at like 50% for the quarter, because they're basically taking a whole month or more than a month of cases that they'd have that product would be sold for. That's just kind of, you know, gone. So I'm sure they'll adjust the numbers and, you know, figure all of that out. But obviously it's a huge hit to the business, you know, from our division. There's other divisions that are still, you know, needed. Some of the, you know, heart stuff and pacemakers and, you know, things like that. Those are, you know, essential cases that still have to go. But some of them that aren't as you know, urgent, I should say, those are going to be the divisions that are hit harder, you know. But yeah, I think our CEO was actually on the I think was on the news last week, and they were looking at some different people to partner with, even Elon Musk, as far as, you know, it'll be in the works to see what they're doing, but they're trying to ramp up, you know, production and distribution of ventilators, and find partners to work with just to be able to, you know, expedite that process and make more volume and get it to the right people.
Yeah, because in my experience, companies are really quick to adjust salespeople's numbers. So I'm sure they'll take really good care of the salespeople and adjust those budgets. Come on, well, that's a joke. That's a joke. Everybody.
I know. Yeah, I got it.
My goodness gracious, man. Well, you want to know how everybody's tense. You can't make any jokes.
I kid. Well, let's talk about happier things, and let's first start out. How much weight did you lose, Corey? Have you lost?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. So I lost about 45 pounds since last February, and my wife is around 30, 35 pounds as well. So
Awesome.
together we were kind of up to about 80 pounds. Yeah, so we kind of lost a ton of weight, and even more so, it was kind of a change in energy and just our mood and mindset and everything. And to kind of give you a little background about what I share and what I do, it was about around a year ago. Like I said, it was actually my youngest son's birthday last year, and just was kind of in a spot where I was overweight, just, wasn't eating great by any means, but just was kind of like, I was just exhausted all the time, just tired, like felt like I needed a nap every day, and then you get home from work and you want to play with the kids, and you walk in the door and, they want to run. And you're just like, ready to, hit the couch. And
you know anything about that, Ben?
Exactly. But, I vividly remember it was my son's 4th birthday, and, I was on the couch and we had his cake and everything, and we kind of, sat down, and he wanted me to chase him. And it was just like, I'm like, Dad just needs a break. And, the look in his eye was just, it like just hit me. I was like, God, I need a change. And anyways, it was a friend of mine that went to Holstein, actually. I had kind of been seeing him on Facebook, and he was posting all his stuff. He was kind of having this big transformation, losing a lot of weight, but just seeming really positive and kind of spreading this to other people. And so it was actually these drinkable ketones that at first I saw a little bit about it, and I thought it was the keto diet. That was kind of my first thing. I heard the word keto and kind of was like, oh, zero carbs, keto is crazy diet, I'm never doing that. So I had saw him talking about this a little bit, and it's funny, you kind of reach a point sometimes where you're just like, oh, I'm sick of this shit. And so finally I was like, Ryan, what is this stuff? Like, I need a change here. And so we kind of tried a sample pack, and it was like just kind of hit me like that. I had this great energy, kind of lit up like a Christmas tree, and just started feeling a lot of energy, a lot of focus. And that was kind of initially how it started. And then a couple weeks in, like started noticing my pants and clothes were fitting better, and then it was kind of a continual process. And then my wife tried it. She started a little bit slower. She was kind of, everyone goes at a little different rate, but it was funny. She almost had wanted to quit after like a month because she wasn't noticing the body comp stuff, even though like she was drinking less coffee and like didn't feel like she needed a nap. But
wait, you gotta drink less coffee? Forget it. I'm out.
I'm done.
Like, I'm done.
In all seriousness, though, talk us through like what. So I see it on your hat. I was wondering what that was. So I'm glad that's what it is. So kind of talk us through like what is it about the ketones? I mean, talk just about sort of the process of it, or what's involved in it, and why it works.
Sure. So basically, like your body kind of can run as far as like a fuel source on like glucose or on ketones. So essentially it's like a secondary like energy, almost like an optimal fuel source for your body. And so when, you've probably heard of the keto diet, and sometimes I think it gets a bad rap because people think it's like no carb and you just eat like bacon like the whole time. And, people like, my impression was that it was,
that's
unhealthy.
diet.
That's Canute's diet.
Butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, but basically, like, if your body, if you eat kind of lower carb, and if you do the diet, it's really strict. But this is a way to get your body into the state of ketosis by just drinking a drink. You literally tear a packet open, you pour this powder in a drink, you mix it up, and it puts your body in ketosis. To achieve that by doing the diet, you have to like count all your macros, so your carbs and your proteins and your fats, and you have to be within a certain range. And if you kind of slip up and get out of ketosis, it can take you days or sometimes weeks to get back in it. So
I can't count that high, so I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that do it, and it's it's awesome. But for me, but I started drinking this, and it puts you in that state, and so it there's lots more research coming out, but it there's benefits for, for brain health, for mood, for sleep, which all of those things kind of combine. Like, even if I didn't lose the weight, it gave me that energy. Allowed me to come home and like have energy to chase my kids and tire them out instead of, me being, feeling like I was a slug on the couch. And, so we hit, kind of had this transformation, and, it was just one of those where it's hard not to share it with people because you're passionate about it, and you want to help other people just kind of, experience the same thing. So
that's awesome, man.
Kind of talk about when you were losing your weight, though, how that adjusted your mind and your state of mind, and just wanting to be a better version. You put it, how you put it, how you say it is like, I want to make sure that people are getting the best version of themselves. So talk a little bit about what that is to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I think, with anything in life, not just, with weight loss, but whether you're talking about relationships, whether you're talking about your mental, your emotional health, health, your physical health, I think life's a journey, right? We're going to have our ups and downs, and we're going to have times where things are going great and times where they're not, and it's a struggle. But I think overall, and our CEO too, it kind of one of his theories is getting 1% better every day and trying to stay consistent. And I think, if we can do that, it's kind of those small changes that we make that, that you stick with, and then that you do it, and you kind of build momentum and you keep going. And, it's kind of like pumping a well, and you're pumping and trying to get the water going, and you don't see anything happening. And then a lot of people stop, right? And we don't see massive results. Where if you can keep going and kind of slowly improve, it gets exciting after a while as you continue, and it's almost contagious to yourself and the people around you, because they see that you've made positive changes, you're inspiring yourself, and you're hopefully inspiring them. And so for me, I kind of noticed this difference, but then as I did that, I wanted to be more positive around my family, be more positive for my kids, and show them, they come home from school with a difficult situation, or they're frustrated because something's not going easy. We talk about this all the time about, it's okay to fail, but we're just working on getting better, and so as that happened, and then you start to see some results, and then it gets really exciting too, I think the hardest part is to kind of get past that initial stage where you're doing the work and you haven't really reached the results yet. But, once you kind of saw those changes, it just was, I wanted to keep going, keep getting better. And when you guys are, in business and stuff too. And when you start to, there's kind of that initial, people see a change and then they, want to jump in. But I think the key is kind of just staying true to what you believe in. And, you're going to have ups and downs in business, but if you're truly passionate about what it does, and you keep, going that way, you're going to help influence people and inspire them to become better. And that's ultimately what I love about the product, and what I love about the community that we're part of is really just like, trying to, like I said, find the best version of yourself and just become better every day, and be the best version of you, because that's ultimately what you're trying to do.
Love it, man. Yep. Amen.
And so is that your entrepreneurial venture? Are you working within that, or is what you're trying to do on the entrepreneurial side something completely different? Because Ben had mentioned that you were doing something on the entrepreneur side. I'm curious what that is.
Yeah. So with this, and give you a little background. So it is, community-based marketing. And with this, we try to lead with education. So I do, as I share this and continue to share it with people, and try to, find other people that are passionate about it and that want to share it with people and influence people. There are several people in our community who have, again, have life-changing results from the product standpoint, but also from an income standpoint as well. I mean, Ryan, the guy who introduced us, his wife, they have actually retired his wife, Dagmar, in 2.5 years here, and they're having a huge impact in Wisconsin. So for me, it's my ultimate goal is to to make a huge impact and impact more than just a couple of friends and family, but to spread out and continue to share the message and, to coach people and inspire people to become better. So from an entrepreneurial standpoint, it's to make a difference, but also to kind of help lead and coach and inspire other people that, want to build a business. I think, especially in a time like now where, people, there's lots of people who have lost their job or laid off, and this, things like this might be something that can be a lifeline. I think a lot of people think, they hear network marketing or community-based marketing, and they think pyramid scheme and stuff like that. I'll just throw that word out there. But it's really about, having an impact and trying to help others achieve their goals. And that's when the better job that you do that, and that you care about people, and that you help them become better and help them influence more people, that's when you continue to grow. And I don't think that's really any different than any other business or a coach or, whether you're a brick and mortar business. The more value you bring to people, the more people are going to come back to you. Or if you're a coach, the better results that you provide, the more impact you have on those people, they're going to want to come back to you. So for me, it's just trying to make a difference and bring value to people that, are around me and our community. And I just hope to keep making a difference. And, obviously the money part is nice, but I think money catches up with you. If you become, your wealth is never gonna, your personal growth and development, who you become in the process, which is one of the things that's tough about entrepreneurship, but also that I like. It's kind of a learn as you earn type of deal. And the better that you become, I think at some point you can't become that much of a better and inspire that many people and then just still have your income stay down here. It's gonna go with you. So I think if you look at it that way, that you try to make an impact, and then eventually that part catches up. So
yeah, for sure, no question about it.
Right now, even this is a great time to have that second income as well. So it's a good opportunity for somebody to get involved.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's, even for someone who shares it a little bit, I mean, for me, part of it that I love is, most people that are trying it are getting really good results. So the fact that you have that, you can be passionate about it. I've been kind of in the community-based marketing type or multi-level marketing. My first product, I had got in and kind of did it. It was something my wife wanted to, try the product, and I kind of got into it, but it was something where I didn't necessarily need the product, and I didn't have that like from the heart story. And so with this, for a lot of people, you're using something that's really making you feel better, and so naturally you want to, share with other people. And like you said, I mean, having, even if it's $200 a month, $500 a month, that's a lot of money. And when you're on a fixed budget and not having to put stuff on credit cards or be able to pay that extra bill, or even if it is going out to eat twice a month or something like that, or buy your kids something. I mean, it's things that you wouldn't otherwise have. And especially when hardship hits, it's great to, have an extra stream of income. There's all sorts of stuff that you can make money on. But I think it's definitely wise to have, be able to dabble and build some skills and, find ways to earn some extra income. So
yeah, you can do all that and try to make people the best version of themselves. That's not a bad calling at all. So
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool, man.
Love it, man.
Cool.
Well, hey, we are like a little over the time, but if people want to know more about what you're doing, how can they contact you, Corey?
Sure. So they can, so I'm on Facebook is a great way. They can find me here so it is Corey Steggy, which the spelling is weird. But if they wanted to find my website, so that would be the best way they can link with you. So it's just Corey, Corey, then Steggy, Stoeckigt.
Yeah.
But since no one in hell will remember that.
LMNOP.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So our
the Steggy
website, we kind of have this. this 10-day challenge that people kind of use to start to get started, and that would bring them to me and kind of notify if they're interested. So it's Corey Staggs, CoreyStags .challenge.com or CoreyStags@gmail.com.
Perfect.
So yeah,
make sure we'll get all the links into the show notes and the blog post that's associated with this episode. And so all of that'll be in there for you. So
cool, I appreciate that. Yeah, just even if you just want to learn a little bit more, we have some great resources just to learn about the product, or even just kind of what keto is a little bit, and intermittent fasting, or any of those things that kind of go around it. Happy to answer questions and just bring value. So
very cool.
Cool, man. Well, keep on keeping on, dude. And if your goal is to help others, the money will come. It's that simple. It really is. If your goal is to help others and make others better, the money will come.
For sure.
Well,
I
thank you.
Appreciate you guys, man. So happy you had me on, and yeah, it's been nice catching up again after how many years?
Yeah, I know.
I know we've been kind of chatting lately, and yeah, so it's great to be on here. I really appreciate it. I'm thankful for you guys having me on, for sure.
You got it, man.
Thanks everybody for watching. Kaylor.
No, Kaylor's over here.
Oh, Kaylor.
Over here.
I don't know what it looks like on Facebook. I mean, we could be all over the map, so who knows?
Want to thank you guys. Appreciate you all, and love you.
We're gonna do this again tomorrow, Ben?
I think we are.
Awesome.
What the hell? Might as well.
So join us again tomorrow, Facebook Live, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We'll have the recording of this episode with Corey available on Thursday, so make sure you check that out with all the links that he just talked about. Ben's going for another because he's still thirsty.
A Pilsner.
Yeah.
Oh, Canopa's jealous.
It's all right. I got a keg of it, so.
Happy hour to you, boys.
Happy
Look
hour.
forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. Corey, thanks again, my man.
All right. Thank you so much,
Cheers
guys.
to you guys.
Hey, Corey.
Cheers.
Later.
Business Over Beer reminds you to always drink responsibly. Our theme song is Alley Cat by Soul Shifters. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next Business Over Beer Happy Hour.